talkradio.com. Scroll down to Podcast on Demand. Pick your show and it's on. Podcast on fmmoneytalkradio.com.
Media Productions and WNN Money Talk Radio have been in conjoint business for 10 years. They've been working around the clock, nonstop, to promote over 500 shows and businesses reaching all over South Florida. With added platforms such as social media live streaming, podcasts, and the specialty of live radio, it's never been easier to get your voice heard by millions of listeners. To amplify your impact and start your show today, contact AMP Media Productions at 866-224-5422. That's 866-224-5422.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Brooklyn Cafe studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat at the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, or a movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in free 888-994-4995 right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe on a rainy Tuesday. I am wearing the Kenny Love mask.
That's
I
nice.
gotta tell you something. He's fixed these masks.
They're nice, right?
These are very nice. These are very cool.
Kenny Love of the Florida Love Show, airing Fridays
Oh, look, and now they bring my bell.
Thank you,
Is
Lovey.
my mic on?
Yeah. Airing
Welcome,
Fridays
welcome.
at 3 o'clock.
Every Friday at 3 o'clock. And this mask, I'm going to tell you something. It is really cool. And we have a call out. If you get a mask on your face and you wear this and you take a picture, we're going to put it on the show of you wearing your mask. And then it's called Guess Who I Am.
Well, it's funny because there's on Sunday mornings before that other show, there's a show that says, send us your mug shot. And it's people sending pictures of them drinking from their branded mug. So this could be the same thing. Send us your face shot, your mask shot.
You know, people gotta stop taking my ideas. That mug thing I did 5 years ago.
Well,
And here
you're
they're
a
doing
man
that.
ahead of your times.
But I like this Guess Who I Am segment. So if you get the Kenny Love, write to Kenny, get the mask. He's all about the love. And if you wear this, we'll put your picture on our show. And maybe he'll do it for his too.
Happy Tuesday to you.
Happy
It is
Tuesday.
definitely a rainy Tuesday outside. Holy cow.
I want people to call in today.
Give us a call, 888-994-4995. Studio A, say hi to Val, say hi to Slick. We got Hector doing his thing. We got a new show that we're going to be working on.
You're gonna announce
Collectibles
that now?
Cafe. Yeah, I think it's really cool.
I was going to tell people to call in. What's the number?
888-994-4995. Studio A. We got a full set coming up for you. We got some cool stuff on the set.
So we're starting a new show we're going to be doing tape production on Thursday. And what's it called?
Collectibles, because S is for
Collectibles.
Cafe with Kenny B.
Collectibles Cafe, and the S is for savings, because we're going to be selling all sorts of stuff. It's a kids grown-up show, where grown-ups can turn back to children. Is the whole concept of this thing.
Kind of like Big with Tom Hanks, kind of like a throwback, because the only reason we grow up is because
You have to.
you have to age gracefully, except you have to age, I should say. We don't all age gracefully, but our guest with us has aged incredibly gracefully.
I am
Because-
speechless.
Wow.
Speechless when you meet this young lady.
We've got a full set lined up for you today. We've got
That's
Joan
you.
Childs, author Joan Childs, and psychotherapist. We've got Peggy Peterson of Special Spaces, and a friend of Dawn DeMarco book, a very dear friend of us. So Dawn DeMarco, we send you our love. We miss you, honey. And then on 1 o'clock, we've got Thermography with Ashley Agaloff, and then Biz Buttons, which is a throwback toy store from Plantation. So they're going to be coming on virtually.
How is it that I never know who's coming on?
Because you don't open your calendar.
My calendar doesn't work.
It does work. You must have it on the wrong colors.
Oh, I didn't know that the calendar worked on colors.
You have different colors.
Different colors? Really? Shut up, Val.
Be nice. She's working really hard.
Spell.
And I think Dan is here, was here.
He's right there.
And Dan is here. Dan is our new sales representative of Amp Media Productions and all of the shows we produce, looking at bringing in advertisers and sponsors, helping bring your business forward to amplify your impact in the community and abroad. And not only the Brooklyn Cafe Show, but all of the shows that AMP produces. So that's really exciting. It's a lot of stuff. And at 7:30, I was sending you things, and I said to Freddie, I can't keep sending him more stuff.
There's a lot
I
of
just
stuff to
can't.
send.
I just can't in my heart. It's going to be like a binder for him. So
Now,
we're gonna
Dan,
do
you've been
bit
in
by
the
bit.
sales business a long time, right?
In the refrigerator.
He's been in the business a long time. I don't think he's ever gotten an onslaught of material all at one time, because
He's never met me before.
Well, we started going through everything that we do, and all of a sudden we had a lot of stuff we want to throw at him. And we're trying to keep it so that it's sensible. Sensible?
Right. A little bit here, a little bit there, and are you a little cockeyed? Why
No,
is your chair so far away?
I don't know, because Slick set it up that way. I don't
Just
know.
kind of move your chair, Dad. There you go.
I'm not in the shot. I'm in the twilight zone in the dark. Is that me?
It's
Yeah,
you.
that's me.
Val, you might have to lighten up my Latino partner over here. Even I look tan.
Wow.
Even I look
Latino-
tan. And that's saying a whole lot.
Wow, Latino partner is dark, something. I am. I can't even see me.
I know.
All
Look
I
how
see is
tan
a
you
hat. All
are.
it does is
I'm almost
move.
as tan as you. I've been sitting outside getting some
You will
sun.
never be as tan as I got a lot of hair.
Yeah, thankfully I don't have that, I must say.
You shave well.
Yikes. Ouch.
We're doing all
I
this
mean,
leading
that's
up
just
to your book.
all I can tell you is aging. We talked about gray hair and aging. I told you this morning that I look in the mirror and I think, all right, you've aged pretty well for 53, and then I see those grays coming through, and then we got to quickly spray those roots until you keep going to the hair salon. But we've got a guest with us today, Joan Childs, author and psychotherapist, and holy smokes, I got to tell you, this is a calling. I know there's like one here. I got to go
I
tomorrow.
found one.
There is one.
Can I pull it?
I can't even believe I'm wearing my hair back. That's even daringly brave to be doing. But aging gracefully is all I can tell you.
Aging. I mean, Joan changes the whole definition of aging.
But I'm
gracefully.
excited to have Joan with us. Joan is an author, psychotherapist of a new book that is not even out yet. So welcome, Joan, to our show.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful to be here, and thank you for having me.
You know, at the carnivals, you go through and they try and guess your weight and your age. I bet you must win a whole lot of money when that used to be a thing.
It's okay. You can say whatever you like. I'm very proud of my age.
You look unbelievable.
Thank you.
I mean, you were gorgeous to start with. You were gorgeous for 65, and now for the age you tell me, I'm like, holy cow.
Have you been in the movies, Joan?
Well, I go to the movies a lot, but I'm not in the movies.
Have you ever been in the movies, though?
No, as an actress?
Yeah.
No, and I've never been a model. I've been a psychotherapist, an inspirational speaker, and a 3-time author, a grandma and a mother, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Holy smoke.
Well, tell us about you and what you do.
Well, what I do is me, for that I came. That's my favorite sentence. It's going to be on my footstone when I go, not beloved grandma or beloved wife or beloved ex-wife, whatever. I am a psychiatric social worker known as a clinical LCSW, and I have been in private practice for 42 plus years. And I didn't get started till I was 38 because I had 5 kids. I was a single mom. I was divorced. So I started in 1978, and I'm still working. I still have an office, and I also have a home office. This is my 3rd book, I Hate the Man I Love. I do want to say that I don't want anyone to think of it as being a male-bashing book, because it's not. And I write for different magazines, and Eurotango, which is a huge 16 million viewers on their website. I write articles on relationships, and I also write articles for Thrive Globe, which is part of Huffington Post. And I see clients. And continue with my psychotherapy practice since 1978. And I speak to anybody that wants to listen to me. So that pretty much covers the gamut.
And what do you speak about? What is your topic? Or
I have a few. In 1998, I lost a daughter. I had 5 children. She was the oldest. She was the clinical psychologist. And she leaped to her death from a 15-story window. She suffered from bipolar disorder. So one of my books, which was the 2nd book I wrote, was called Why Did She Jump? My Daughter's Battle with Bipolar Disorder. The first book I wrote was called The Myth of the Maiden, being a woman. I grew up in the 50s, which was really the last age of innocence and the end of the Victorian age, basically. It was Elvis in 1958, who I actually went out with, believe it or not, my claim to fame, who took us out of the Victorian age into the sexual revolution. And I was with 5 children and having to go into what then became the women's movement. And I came out of a very traditional Victorian age where I was told from the time I was little, you just get married, have lots of kids. My mother told me to have 5, which I was very obedient. We all were. And I had 5. And we would get married, have children, and we would live happily ever after, which was the myth of the maiden. And so I had to figure out how to re-engineer myself with 5 children from the ages of 3 to 11, divorced, and move on. So that's when I went and took a master's degree at Barry. Then it was Barry College, now it's Barry University. And went through, I got my master's in social work, and then I became a psychotherapist. And what else did you want to know? I got lost.
I want to start back at the beginning 1 second. So you dated Elvis?
I dated Elvis when I was a freshman at the University of Alabama, and we were very poor. My mother and father said, you can either come home for Thanksgiving or Christmas, your choice. So naturally I said, I'll go back to Miami Beach where I was raised. Christmas. So Thanksgiving I was invited to Memphis. And for some unbelievable reason, I ended up meeting Elvis and seeing him for the weekend. But because it was 1958, which was the last age of innocence, we were very obedient at the time to our parents. We were more afraid of our parents than the principal of the high school. My parents just wouldn't let me continue. He wanted to. He wanted to meet me, and he wanted me to fly up to New Orleans. I was all of 18 years old.
How old was he?
Many years ago.
How old was Elvis?
Elvis wasn't much older than me. He just came back from the Army, so he might have been 22. I was 18.
How did a girl from Miami Beach end up at University of Alabama in
That's another
1958,
story.
though? I mean, you got to think
I know,
about...
it was so different back in the 50s with colleges. We didn't have to go to a state school. We could go anywhere. College was much less money than it is, much less than it is today. And my cousin went to Alabama, and I figured I would just follow. She was an older cousin, and I would just follow in her footsteps. I didn't have any clue where I wanted to go or what I wanted to do. And my father gave me 2 choices. You either be a doctor or a teacher. I didn't want either, but the teacher sounded better than the doctor because I don't like the looks of blood. So I became a teacher, and I left after the first year because I felt like I was in another time zone in Tuscaloosa, maybe 30 years behind the time. But in the process, I ended up going to Memphis, and take a drink. And I ended up, for some strange reason, he had scouts. He couldn't go out. He was very famous at the time. He had already made Jailhouse Rock and a lot of songs. So he had scouts go out and look for girls. And it was a Thanksgiving party at a synagogue that I was invited to by my roommate. And they were scouts there looking for girls for Elvis. And they came over to me and a girlfriend that was with me. And they asked me from Miami Beach. And Miami Beach was 30 years ahead of Memphis in style and glamour and everything. I was wearing eye makeup and I was made up, and all the girls from Memphis looked like plain Janes, and I walked in and everybody looked at me as if I stuck out like a sore thumb. But it wasn't such a sore thumb because these two guys came over. One of them was a disc jockey. His name was George Klein, and he spoke in rhyme. That's how he spoke. And then there was Alan Fortas, whose father or his family owned a lot of, they were developers in Memphis. And they said, you want to go out after this? And I said, sure. What did I know? It was the last age of innocence. We didn't know.
It's not a bad thing. I mean, I wish I had dated Elvis. Why not? Are you kidding me? I mean, think about it. I mean, you're the king. And you got to even meet him.
It was a fascinating story. I went out, so did my girlfriend. We took off our clothes at home and changed into pedal pushers and a T-shirt, and I had my hair down to my waist. It was dark. I think I looked a little bit like Priscilla Presley. He had already met her. She was 14, I was 18, but he had met her already in Germany. And I guess I reminded, in some way, they thought I looked like her. So we went in the car. We drove for about a half an hour, and I finally said, "Duh, where are we going? What are we doing?" Well, you'll see. About another 20 minutes, we get to the gates of Graceland. Now, I was a typical teenager that was watching Ed Sullivan every Sunday night when Elvis would come on, and I was screaming my head off like millions of other teenagers, because he did, when he shook his hips, he took us out of the Victorian era into the sexual revolution.
I guess his hips did that.
Yeah. So the gates open up. I see the the guitars and the musical notes on the gates, and they said, "Do you know where you are now?" And I looked. I was clueless. How could I think that I would ever be in Graceland, 18 years old from Miami Beach?
And no cell phone, so you couldn't even call your mom, right?
No,
there was
nothing,
it's not like, Mom, there's no texting, there's nothing.
I didn't know I was at Graceland. I had no clue where I was. The gates open up, and the car drives up maybe about a quarter of a mile. We get out of the car, and there's a Cadillac there, and the guy said, Alan says, "You know where you are now?" I'm looking, and I had no clue. I looked at the building, and he said, "Come on, you must know where you are." There were blue and green lights going up pillars and two huge stone lions sitting out in front. And I looked at him, and he said, "You know where you are?" And I said, "The library?" I had no frame of reference to this. I mean, you can't imagine. We get up, he shows me the Cadillac with EP on the floors, on these big, thick rugs. "Now do you know where you are?" No clue.
Did she say somebody peed on a rug?
EP.
Oh. I thought she
He
said
can't
somebody,
hear either, Joe, so
I
don't
heard
worry.
lightning. I heard thunder. I thought you said somebody peed on a rug.
EP on big, thick rugs.
Oh, okay. I thought she said he
EP for
peed on a
Elvis
rug.
Presley. But I couldn't compute. It was just too far-fetched for me to be able to compute.
It's too surreal.
Walk up the steps, and a very heavy guy comes out. His name is Lamar. He's the valet or the guy that worked for him. And he said to George and to Alan, Alan said to him, "These are the girls I told you about from Miami Beach." And just then Elvis comes to the door. He's wearing a pair of white ducks and a tennis sweater. And I'm looking at him. He looks familiar, but it doesn't compute. My girlfriend recognized him. She dug her nail into my hand, still have the scar. And I thought she was going to faint. And in her breathless way, it's Elvis. And then I realized it's Elvis. I was very coy and very cool. She was beside herself. I thought she fainted, but I don't think she actually did. She just couldn't breathe for a minute.
So you mean all this time, you got into a car with a bunch of guys
Two guys,
and
yeah.
you didn't know where you were headed.
No, I
So-
kept
so
saying,
you
where are we
just-
going? And you'll see,
So-
you'll see. But there was no sense of fear because we lived in that last age of
No
innocence.
one was afraid of anything.
There
Now
was
you
n-
just would never do that, right, Peggy? Like, you just
We
wouldn't
would
do
never
it.
do that now. But in those days, like I said, the last age of innocence, there were no muggings, there were no rapings, there were no shootings, nothing that I have ever came in contact with. I used to go skating in Flamingo Park on Miami Beach when I was in high school. The skating rink was in the center
Where'd
of
you
the
go to
park.
high school?
Miami Beach Senior High School. I'm a graduate 1957, giving away my age.
You may know my
Okay.
father-in-law.
So, and then,
He was a vice president.
My in-laws went there, so what can I tell you?
but basically, I came out of a time that was secure, that was safe, that was innocent. We were naive, but nothing ever happened. Nobody ever committed suicide. Nobody ever shot anybody. Nobody ever did drugs. We were all good kids. So this whole thing that I could be from this, came from a very impoverished family. We were very poor. And so that I look at a place like Graceland, to me, it really looked more like a library than a house. So, because I had never had, my frame of reference was so, minimal.
Did you write about this in one of your books?
Yes, The Myth of the Maiden. There's a
That's
whole
the first
story
book.
about it, right.
And this is the 5th book?
This is my third book.
Your third book.
The first is The Myth of the Maiden. The second is Why
your
Did She
daughter.
Jump? My daughter's battle with bipolar disorder.
And what is this book about? This book
This
I know
is
isn't out
about-
yet.
This is about being able to have oppositional feelings coexisting simultaneously in relationships. It's about love-hate. And it's really a concept from time memorial, from the beginning of time. There's, you don't really hate the man that you love. You hate some of the behavior or the lack of behavior. And I have been dealing with couples for 42 years, and women would come in and they would just, with their husbands or with their relationship partners or by themselves, and I would hear the same verbiage over and over. I hate him, he's an idiot, he's a jerk, he's what I'm not allowed to say on television. But the obscenities was just, they would be shocking. I would feel like the room was filled with carbon monoxide. They would just roar and yell and just tell me how awful they were. And so what I asked them when they come back themselves, why are you with someone that you hate? Well, because I love him. So I would say, and they would say, I love him when he's got a lot of good qualities, and we have a lot of fun together, and we have very compatible. So I would look at them and I say, so you hate the man you love? Yeah, I do. Okay, that's a great title for a book.
Does it work the other way as well?
Yeah,
men to women?
Men don't express it like that. They shut down. They don't talk about their feelings as openly as women do. It's just a biological difference that men are between women and men and women. Men talk about things like football, about politics, about business. They don't talk really about their feelings. They're just not that connected. They have like a disconnect, that little box that's empty up here somewhere. Women have double of it. So
That's because
it's
you
just
ain't never been in a man's bathroom.
what?
Yes, because you haven't been in a man's bathroom.
That's true. If I
In
haven't been in a
public.
man's locker room either, so I don't
No,
know.
the locker room guys don't do that. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for it. But in a bathroom, you'd be surprised some of the stuff they say.
Well, I don't go into men's bathrooms, so I
understand
would never
that,
know.
but I understand. This is what I mean. Guys go and they talk about women in the sanctity of bathrooms.
Are we on the
Men's
air?
domain is a bathroom. It is the reason why when we go to the bathroom, the wife, the girlfriend,
Don't knock, right?
knock on the door. Why are you knocking on the door? What do you think I'm doing? Building a house? Get the hell out of here. The bathroom is the confessional. Is that a good word?
Uh-huh.
It's the
It's the
confessional.
barbershop, Slick says.
That's right. That's another place where women don't, because it is the intimidation of women the reason men do not express themselves.
Well, I don't know about that. Maybe that's your model of the world, but I think it's...
Show you
it's-
5,000 men a minute.
Are we on the air, by the way?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
That's good. I haven't looked at the camera once. I've been looking at you.
It's all right, because we've got the camera towards you, so we're all good with that.
Okay. Okay, I wasn't sure. No, women are much more vociferous. They're much more vitriolic. in their
So
expression.
bitchiaca?
Am I using too fancy words? I don't mean to.
Yes, that's it. Is that another word for like bitchy?
They're loud.
Is that another word for bitchy?
We're-
Yeah,
we
they-
share our feelings a lot more.
What is the word? I'm sorry.
when a woman, vitriolic?
I love that. What's it mean?
Vociferous. When a woman gets frustrated and she doesn't feel like her guy is present and listening, and what a guy thinks is when a woman says, "Honey, the air conditioning broke," that it's his responsibility to fix it, and all she's saying is, "The air conditioning broke today." Well, wait a minute, I already called the company, but men expect, or they have this expectation that they're responsible to take care of everything.
Who told you that?
The men that
When
I
a woman
see.
tells me the air conditioner broke, I tell her, go fix it.
Yeah, I know, but the point is that many men feel that they're responsible for taking care of everything. Not maybe not you, and maybe not many others.
Not anybody in this building, I can tell you that.
Okay. Well,
That's
don't
not true. You do a lot. But if there's a dead cockroach on the floor,
I go the
it's
other
me.
way.
Right.
I
You
know
should
I
have
can
seen
do
him
that.
yesterday, slick right on the other side.
You know, but basically the issues that women have is that they need to be listened. They need to feel they have a secure attachment. They need to be touched. They need to feel safe. They need to feel protected. They just need to have that sense of being loved. Now, many of us, men included, when we were children, never came from a secure attachment. There were so many kids that grew up with childhood wounds that they carried into adulthood, and that what they do unconsciously is that we hire our partners unconsciously to give us the biggest nightmare that you can imagine, and then we fire them for the very reason we hired them for. So with more than 50% of
So we
divorces.
set them up for failure.
What?
We set them up for failure.
We set them up for failure. I am
but
not,
unconsciously.
But this
We don't
is
go, oh, wait, I'm going to marry you and I'm going to make this fail because I know this ahead of time. We just take on old habits, old wounds.
we drag our
and
past.
we react how we
Yes.
knew. And that's what we're comfortable with. Doesn't mean
We
it's right.
drag our past into the future,
got
into
that.
the here and now.
Joan, I'm going to tell you something.
Yes.
You are the most complicated, simplest person I've ever met. You take a simple thing like a relationship. If I had known everything you're saying now, I would never have gotten married. I wouldn't, because to be honest with you, at the end of the day, you are asking men to do something and then changing it at the same time. So I'm going in the door and I'm going out the door.
No.
You can't do both at the same time.
No. I am trying to teach couples how to have a conscious relationship so that they can both be enriched by the event of being conscious. What is conscious? It's just knowing who you are and being able to own your own shadow side, so that instead of defending or criticizing or judging or contempt, you can say, yeah, you're right, I did that, and I'm sorry. That's all. It's very simple. If I've made it complicated, I want to.
Because I'm saying I'm sorry doesn't change anything.
No, they have to. If the action is more, if the words, if the if the behavior doesn't match the words, we call it BS. So we have.
I have another name for it, but we can start there.
I'm trying to be very careful
Thank
on
you, I
television.
appreciate
Okay.
But the difference here is that women are smarter than men.
Yeah.
Okay.
And-
And women know they're smarter than men. The thing is that men are beginning to get wise to the game, and we're changing up the game. We are hitting women now with things they can never expect.
I don't think we're smarter than
Oh,
men.
No,
you
I
are.
was
And
gonna
this
say
is
the
all
same
part
thing.
of- Yeah, I know you're going to say
We're
that.
more strategic.
No, you're smarter than men. But you know
Well,
what?
that takes intelligence to be more
Of
strategic.
course. But you know what the difference is?
I
That
can
women-
ask a question, answer a question, and have a whole
You
conversation.
shouldn't even ask it. You're going to answer it anyway.
And I have, right?
And my answers is never going to be right.
That's
It's
not
going to be always open to interpretation, the way you call interpretation. I just like the fact. Interpretation. That's what she does. She hits me with the interpretation thing. I get this at home. I get it with my stepdaughter.
It's
I
a
get it
matter of
everywhere.
perspective.
It's perspective to finger. The bottom line is this. At the end of the day, you need two people to meet at one spot. My father used to say to me, two people cannot live on one spot. Somebody's got to let the other one live there, then you take turns. You got to either spit or swallow.
Yes,
this is what I was taught.
Yes, we need 3 C's: communication, compromise and collaboration, absolutely. So my job has been able to take people through a process, couples, to learn how to do that.
Are you married, Joan?
I'm sorry?
Are you married?
No, I'm not married. I'm divorced.
How long have you been divorced?
Since
Let's see,
1978.
1975.
75.
But then
Okay,
I
so-
married. Then I married again,
Okay, so
and then I was divorced from
A
there
second
since
time.
1980.
Okay.
And then I married again, and I'm divorced from there since 1997, and not married since.
so you've been married 3 times.
Yes.
I've been married twice. Between you and me, we got a whole dozen eggs here of relationships because people change. I mean, can we agree on that?
Hopefully.
All right. So I love the theme of your book. I would like to do a sequel. It says,
Good.
I hate what she says.
Okay, that's a good title.
Because the opposite applies to what you're saying as well. It's a good lesson. Remember yesterday we talked about life is all about making adjustments to our failures. Everything we do in life is going to be a failure. You got to make the adjustments. Same thing is what she's talking about.
But
That's not true. Not everything in life is a failure.
Oh, yes, it is. You've made adjustments to get there.
But
That is
Freddie,
so not true.
I can point it out. Don't go
Oh
down
my
this road. Don't go down this road.
No.
I'm telling you now. Don't do it.
That's so the
But
dark
Freddie-
side.
But Freddie, let me see if I can get a little academic, but not up here.
No, you could go there. I can get there.
Okay.
You could go ahead.
won't use-
Listen,
I
I
won't use
graduated with a full
vitriolic.
scholarship from NYU. I can understand the verbiage.
If you want to learn how to play the piano, and you've never had a piano lesson, you're not going to be able to play it until somebody teaches you.
That's not true. I
Then-
will play the piano. You may not like what you hear.
Okay, well then you might be one of those people that are talented.
No, I
and-
have no talent.
Hey,
no talent.
None. But when I
Okay.
play that piano, it ain't going to be good.
Slick,
But
where's
it's
the bar?
interpretation. I could play that thing. as
Well,
fantastic.
whatever it is that you want to learn, most people have to have a mentor or a teacher or someone to show them how to do it.
Yes.
It's no different with relationships.
Really?
Because you know why? We grew up with role models. Many of our parents never negotiated anything. They never really had any way to resolve their conflict. They would just sweep it under the carpet, and after many years, the carpet would look like the Swiss Alps. And the relationship, which does not live, the relationship doesn't live in the man or the woman, or the man and the man, or the woman and the woman. And the relationship lives between the two, in the space between the both of them, and that's where the kids live, and even the pets. So when that relationship gets polluted, that space becomes
Yeah.
polluted. We have to learn how to cleanse it to make it more sacred, and that's what I do.
You
How do
cleanse
pe-
it.
How do people get your book? We have to go to commercial break.
Yes, let's do that because
How do
I'm
people
fired up,
find
baby.
a copy of your book?
Oh, my book? Can you get a picture of my book?
Yes, it's in the shot.
Okay, take a shot of the book.
Yep.
All right. I hate the man I love. Listen, ladies, if you ever thought of leaving the same man who can bring you to orgasm and anger in the same day,
And do it during.
this is the book you want to read. Okay?
And don't read the book while that's going on.
I
Joan,
want her.
you
I
gotta
want her
put that.
publicist is what I got to tell you
Huh?
because that was good.
That is
That's
good.
a good pitch.
Do not read the
Okay.
book while that's going on because then you know.
How do Amazon?
Yes, Amazon. It's on the way from India. I think their distribution is a little bit delayed, but Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Books A Million, Books and Books, your favorite bookstore, you should be able to do it. But Amazon for sure, you can order it now, and it will be delivered to you. It might be a little bit late, but believe me, it's worth the wait. Every woman that I've spoken to will resonate with this book, whether they're single, they're married, they're divorced, they're widowed. And men can really learn something about women and how to have a conscious
I
relationship.
love that.
All right, get your
Okay.
copy, Amazon.com. Stay tuned. We're going to take a commercial break. Author Joan Childs, thank you so much for joining us. We got Peggy
Thank you
Peterson
so much for having
in
me.
the house from Special Spaces. More to come. Give us a call, 888-994-4995. Studio A. We're bringing the light to his darkness. And we'll be right back.
Nice clap.
Welcome to your vacation staycation. And what better way to kick back than to blend up a sweet pina colada, a smooth mojito, or just a nice stiff rum and coke. If you want true relaxation and enjoyment, then you want Gubba Rum. Gubba Rum is a unique rum infusion. Gubba Silver Rum is infused with real shredded coconut, and Gubba Rum Gold is infused with real shredded vanilla bean. Both are made with certified organic ingredients. Each infused Gubba rum is 35% ABV, 70 proof, and as we say in Boston, wicked smooth. So if you're looking for the best combination of taste, smoothness, quality, and price, your clear choice is Gubba rum. If you want that wicked smooth taste for yourself or your vacation, staycation, visit GubbaRum.com to find your closest liquor store that carries Gubba Rum Gold and Gubba Rum Silver. Gubba Rum, it's wicked smooth. If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would just listen? It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have the platform to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 80800. That's CAFE to 80800.
Even though some things are far away, we plan for them ahead of time because they're important. When it comes to your celebration of life, it's really no different. You want to plan ahead now so your family doesn't have to later, and create a service that reflects your values, character, and traditions, no matter what they may be. At Dignity Memorial, we listen to every detail and make sure everyone is remembered.
Healing Moments Wellness Boutique specializes in integrating scientific and ancient therapies to relieve physical, emotional, and psychological distress. Through the power of touch, coaching, and meditation, clients experience pain relief, relaxation, healing, and detoxification. Contact Healing Moments Wellness Boutique at 561-931-2187 and experience Boca Raton's Healing Haven. Enjoy the benefits of an individualized treatment plan to help find your feelings of peace, complete balance, and wellness. Call Healing Moments today, 561-931-2187, and be rejuvenated.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
We'll have to connect you and have her back. She's been here since 10:30, so I just got to get back to seeing patients.
She went to an appointment and got here a little early. But you know, Joan, I've been talking to Joan for 2 weeks, and she finally understood what I wanted. And then she wrote on some of the other shows that we produced that she wanted to be on there, like Ask the Espers and stuff. But a nice lady. I mean, I would love to, I'm going to get the book. I think it's a whole lot of fun. And Joan, you okay?
Yeah, I left the umbrella.
Oh, okay. Just got to make sure she doesn't slip and fall.
I know. Marble floors get wet.
It is raining.
Raining.
All right, so let's go to part 2.
We got Peggy Peterson of Special Spaces, and I think Dylan reached out to Peggy.
Yes.
And then she came in, and she's like, I've met you before through Dawn DeMarco book, and it's very hard to see people in their masks, so welcome to our new home.
Thank you.
And Dawn, of
having
course,
me.
we miss you and hope you are doing well. Tell us about Special Spaces.
Well, Special Spaces, it's a national organization, and we design and create bedrooms for children with cancer. Our goal is to go into their existing bedroom and give them the bedroom of their dreams. Our thing is that, where does a child go after all their chemo treatments, radiation treatments, hospital stays, doctor visits? They go to their bedroom. So our goal is to give them something that they are excited to come home to. They are part of the design process. We interview them, and they tell us exactly what they want, and that's basically what we do. Is we design the bedrooms
How long
for
have
the
you been
children.
working with them?
I have brought the chapter, the Boca Raton chapter, to Boca back in 2016. So we've been doing 4 years, and we just completed our 26th bedroom makeover.
Wow.
Tell me some of the.
I
tell me
think
some
we
of
have
the-
a video also.
Some of the needs. Oh, we do. Tell me some of the needs that arise. What are some of the things?
Some of the need, well, a lot of the children, they need new furniture. We go into their bedrooms and they'll need maybe new carpeting, new floor, new window treatments, new furniture, new lighting. Basically, it's the furniture and the bedding. And whatever their theme is, whatever they want the theme of the room to be, then we do that. What we mostly need right now is sponsorship, room sponsorships. Because of COVID, we had to cancel all of our fundraisers. We're a 50c3 nonprofit, so we have to raise money to do these rooms. So right now we're looking for sponsorships. To sponsor a bedroom is $5,000. If it's a business, you can bring in your employees to be part of the experience, to help to meet the child, to help with the makeover. There are other ways to sponsor also. If you go on our website, it gives you a list of different ways of donating money.
And it's specialspaces.org?
Yeah, specialspaces.org, correct.
All right,
Thank
Val,
you.
let's play the video. Peggy sent a couple videos
Can I
over.
just do a precursor to this?
I think this is the one of how things have changed. the one she's
Things
gonna
have
air.
changed, yes. Because of COVID, we're not allowed to go into the homes of the children anymore, and rightly so. Their immune system is very low. Even if we wore masks, the volunteers, we want to protect our volunteers. So the national team came up with a really cool and unique idea, and it's called Bedroom in a Box. What we do is we still meet with the child virtually. We get their ideas, what they want. We purchase everything that we need, and then we go and we stage the bedroom in the driveway or in a garage. And from there, the family takes everything that we give them, and then they put it into. We put together I call it a mock-up of what we envision the room to look like, and so they take everything that we have for them, and they complete the room, and then we put it on our Facebook when it's all completed.
Wow. All right, let's roll the tape, Val.
Interesting.
you, Special Spaces. Thank you, Special Spaces.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Speechless, right?
The little girl that said, "I love you, Special Spaces." At the age of 1, she was diagnosed with a rare form of brain cancer. And after going through all the treatments and everything that she needed to do, she went into remission for 9 months. After the 9 months, they found out that it came back and into her bones. She's now 3.5, and they just found out that she has a secondary cancer that is another rare form of cancer. And the family is now reaching out to anybody to donate, what is it? Not plasma, the other
Bone marrow?
bone marrow. She needs a bone marrow treatment, and they cannot find a match for her. So they've been on different news stations and all around the country trying to seek people.
And they're local in our community?
They are local.
I wonder if Mike can help them out.
I wonder if I call Freddie. He used to work for the heart people,
Something of life.
the Gift of Life.
Yeah, that's where they're working through.
They're working through. Yeah,
Yeah.
we used to do a show for Gift of Life.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, they're working
it's
through
an
them.
Outstanding organization. for
Thank
Gift
you,
of Life.
thank you.
But
And
they
that's,
are having-
that's our main goal, is to put that smile on their face. You know, you could see how happy they were. And that's what we do. That's what
incredible,
we do.
Peggy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is not your maybe it's your full-time job now,
No,
but from what you tell me, this
no.
was not your full-time job.
No, it's not. But if you talk to my husband, it is. I'm up till like 2 a.m. But it's my passion, is what it is. It's my passion. And when you saw it, when you see they see it, or when we do an in-home makeover and they open that door and see it for the first time, the squeals of excitement and then the tears and gratitude from the parents, I get the goosebumps, but it's why we do what we do. But cancer will never stop at this moment. Hopefully it will, but there's always children.
Kids are kids. Children are children, right?
That you find out that they have cancer. I shouldn't have said cancer will never stop, because it will someday, hopefully. But
do you only work with kids with cancer, or any
kids with cancer?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we service children in the southern part of Palm Beach County and the northern part of Broward County. So if there's anyone out there that knows of a child that you feel would like a bedroom makeover, you can see my email address. Please email me and I'll get in touch with you. But we've had some really, really good bedrooms. One wanted she wanted a princess room, obviously. One wanted a computer room, whole computer room, so we made him a...
Is there a vetting process, or they contact you and hopefully
They contact me, and then I'll send them an application. They have to fill out the application. It's a medical form and then a general form to give us information about it. They need to be within 1 year of treatment. And then I get the application back. I forward it on to our national child sourcing and for approval. And once it's approved, then I set up a time, a Zoom call with the child. I just had one a couple weeks ago, and he's a little ADHD, so he was all over the place. I'm trying to get him to show me his bedroom and what he wants and everything, but we finally got what he wanted. Then once that's done, then my team and I start preparing and designing the room, and with what the child has requested. And sometimes the parents request the need for storage because there's so much medication, or maybe carpeting because they're unstable, or different flooring because
they fall, they hurt
the
themselves.
equipment can't be on carpet, all kinds of things.
Exactly. So that together with the child's wishes, we come up with a theme. It's a total surprise to the family. It's at no cost to the family. and the child. And then once we're done, we select a day to do it on. And like I said, now we're doing it in the driveway or a garage. I just bought a tent so that we could do it under a tent also.
Can people make donations even if it's not $5,000?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you go on to the specialspaces.org, click on to the Boca Raton, and they'll give you a level of different you can do whatever you want, but different donations and what that will go towards.
Are they taking only monies, or are they taking furniture and things of that nature?
No, typically we buy brand new furniture for the children, and brand new, and anything that is in the room, it's brand new.
And for the particular little girl, you're working with Gift of Life from Boca, because I know that they have different territorial offices. If somebody, and there's an age thing. I remember when we did this.
Yeah, I was gonna go and get tested, but they said 18 to 35.
35, and it used to be. It was a little bit older now. I guess maybe with Corona they've reduced it. And are you working with the one in Boca, or call anyone if people are listening?
With this little girl with the bone marrow, I'm not working with them on that. It's there. All I know is that they're working with that organization.
Okay.
I don't know which one they're working at. They live in Del Rey, so I'm assuming maybe the Boca one.
Maybe.
Just
give them a call. The one in Boca. Freddie used to work there. Val used to work there, and just tell them you saw that. If you saw it on the clip, and you want to help that little girl out. The very first show we did at WNN with Gift of Life, they raised $1 million.
Yeah.
Gentleman called in,
yeah,
and it was the VP that was there that day. He couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And they raised $1 million on that one show, and they didn't save her, but they did a deal for a little girl.
Yeah, through this organization, they've already raised $60,000. So
good organization.
Let's go to commercial break. When we come back, you're welcome to stay. I think we might have Ashley Agaloff coming on. I think we've got business buttons. We've got a toy store, more with Special Spaces. All about the kids. Stay tuned, 888-994-4995. Email is peggy@specialspaces.org. And of course, you can always contact us. No donation is too small, and it will always all be appreciated. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Spotlight your business, ideas, and events through our Brooklyn Cafe TV channel on Apple TV. Contact us at 888-224-5422 for more information. Let the whole town, even the whole country, know your message with a click of a button. Together, we inspire creativity.
Let's all welcome a new sponsor to the show. It's AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet TV radio production company, discover AMP2 TV, a full-service production company that can provide all streaming videos in studio or remotely. They offer web page development, and they use all the latest platforms to help make all your business selling points more powerful. They can do remotes or live radio streaming, as well as tape productions for social media platforms and television. AMP2 TV can handle all of your television needs, including closed caption for a perfect on-air telecast. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages, or visit one of their many studios to get your creative juices flowing. Come and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies, including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's AMP2.tv, or call them at 866-224-5422. Feel free to call for a quote or just a consult of how to put your business on a social media platform or radio platform, or just doing a show that is covered by all platforms. Call 866-224-5422 and make an appointment. That's 866-224-5422.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
They still look good, don't they, Slick?
Those are fake.
No, they are not actually. Those are real.
Those are not real. Even the water's fake. Go like this.
No,
Go
don't.
like that. I know. On you, go like this. See if the water comes out.
There's a lot of electrical equipment down there. No, thank you very much.
The Slickster.
The Slick. Do you see a line? Do I have a line inside of me? Or is it a shadow?
Oh, here we go.
Did you see it?
Do not look at the person behind the curtain, please.
Do not engage this woman in her behaviors, is all I can tell you.
I'm going to have to point your way, the direction. You got to point. I'm going to point you north.
Peggy, thank you so much. These shirts are unbelievable. Special Spaces, check out the Boca chapter. Any donation to help these children who are recovering from cancer have a special room and a special place to come home to after treatments.
Now, Peggy, I'm going to show you the difference between her and me. I don't open it. I will never open this.
Not me, I use it all.
I don't open this. I put it as a display just the way it is. It was given me, they gave me a bottle with gold in it. And I still have, that was 4 years ago?
I drank it.
She drank hers. I have it in my house on the mantle in a case. And this is going to join
But it's
that.
a gift to use.
To enjoy.
To enjoy.
Because, you know, I'm a firm believer, never forget where you came from. And this comes from you, and I will never forget this today.
Oh, thank
and
you.
I will put this in a sacred place, not to be worn or shared, and everything
But
stays.
you can read the brochure.
Not me,
Well,
I
no,
got the brochure out. I
read
got the
hers.
shirt.
I read
Oop,
hers.
there's
see?
the card.
I read hers. But I will keep this like this until, and you know, life will show me when to open it. You watch.
Okay. All right.
And
You're
just when
going to
you
be sipping champagne when it happens.
and just when you never know how things come into alignment, we have our longtime friend Ashley. You like age backwards. Oh my gosh, you look unbelievable.
I hope so.
She looks like she's 12.
Ashley Agaloff, who was probably one of the first women I met when I started networking and working with you 5 years ago
I
at a
remember that.
networking event. I don't remember who it was for. I just remember it was in East Boca.
Yeah,
And
that
we
was the
started-
first one I think I ever went to.
Unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
You only have one child, Ashley, or did you have 4 or 5? Or
One's good.
one?
One
I mean,
child.
it's been such a long time.
One
She says,
child's
you
good.
remember her? I says, I don't remember her.
Ashley was last time with us at their studio in Delray. She was very pregnant, I think 7-8 months pregnant at the time. Now you've got almost a 2-year-old.
Yep.
It's been that long, so congratulations.
Thank
She's
you.
beautiful.
Aw,
I
thank
remember
you.
you.
Of course
brought
you
the-
remember
she
me.
brought the machine
The
with her.
machine, yes. We talked about, oh, yes. How are you?
I'm doing good.
And since October is Breast Cancer Awareness, and they tell me Breast Cancer Prevention Month is really what it should be, we've got Ashley with us. She does thermography screening.
Yes.
And you had offered to do that for me yesterday, and I told Freddie it was just crazy. He goes, what, you didn't want to put your breasts on TV? I go, that actually didn't occur to me, because once you've got children, your body is not your own anymore.
We wanted to put
It's
a
true.
big banner.
It was more of, it's so cold in here, and I was thinking, how are we going to regulate the temperature of it is what I was, and the privacy, of course, of what it is.
Yeah.
Because once it's a screen, you don't know A from B or who's what.
Yeah, but you
who's
take
what.
pictures of it. I don't expect you to do it on the set.
No, she actually, so she sent some pictures as to what she does. So let's do some background on what you do and who you are.
Sure. So I have been doing thermography screening since 2013. And thermography is normally, people know it as a screening tool, similar to a mammogram or an MRI or an ultrasound, but it's actually a risk assessment test. So basically, when you get a thermography screening, you can see what your risk is for developing cancer years before it would show up on an anatomical test like a mammogram or MRI or ultrasound. So really, the problem is we're so focused on early detection, which, great, early detection is good in a way, right? You find it early, you can do something about it, but it's still invasive. So what we want to focus on is prevention. And the way we focus on prevention is by getting thermography, because when we get a thermography scan, you can see the heat patterns in the breast, or we do full bodies too, but I'm going to focus on the breast today since it's Breast Health Awareness Month. And when you see the vascular patterns or the heat patterns, you can look at that and you can say, okay, your thermal heat rating, say it's high, for example. Say you came in, hopefully not, and you were at a thermal heat rating of 4, which the doctor rates at 1 to 5. You can say, okay, I have high inflammation in my breast, and say you went and got a mammogram. Just because you don't have anything on your mammogram doesn't necessarily mean that something's not going on. It means, okay, you don't have cancer, but all the studies show 5 to 10 years down the line, if you're high risk thermogram, that everyone that's gotten a thermogram that's high risk does develop cancer.
Well, if you are high risk,
yeah,
is there anything you can do about it?
That's the whole point. So what I love is prevention. And I really want to share this with people even younger than 40, because by the time you get a mammogram, it's now even later than 40. And the most aggressive, deadliest breast cancers are under 40, because they go so fast and they metabolize so fast that you really need to catch it early. So the whole point of doing this is, if you're high risk, okay, what can we do for prevention? You can go to functional medicine, you can do diet, you can do lifestyle, stress reduction, exercise. There's so many different avenues you can go, and then you can monitor yourself with the thermography and make sure that your risk is lowering rather than raising, hopefully.
So is this all based on the heat sensor of the area that you're doing the exam on? Is it based on that scale of heat that is intense?
Yeah, so it's based on the heat, but the doctor's also, so I don't read the report, I just take the images. The doctor who reads the report, he's also looking at the vascular patterns in the breast. Okay. So he's actually measuring it by 1/10 of a degree. So our breasts are supposed to be symmetrical. So if there's a lot more heat going on in one breast, that can symbolize a tumor that is being aggressive or metabolizing very quickly. So that's what's great about the thermography, is you can see that, where it's measuring the physiology versus a mammogram, where you're seeing the bump or the lump, but by the time it's already gotten to that point, you could have already seen it on a mammogram. I mean, on a thermography. So you really want to, you could still get both, but you want to get both, and you want to get the risk assessment test so that you can be preventative.
And does age matter? In other words, do you have a college girl? Does that matter as compared to 40 or 50-year-old? So that you can see, because I'm assuming this is giving you like a advance warning that something may be going on, maybe not. It all depends, but it's worth looking at.
Oh, for sure. And, you know, I feel like the issue is that no one is even aware under the age of 40. No one even talks about breast cancer. And the problem is a lot of women are getting breast cancer before the age of 40. So that's why we really have to focus on prevention and awareness and showing people that this is out there and that there's a better option that's there. It's non-invasive. It's getting a picture taken. So it's really easy to do, and there's no radiation involved. So anybody, any age, I've even done kids, you know, so not for their breasts, but for other things. So you can get it done at any age, but the younger, the better.
Some of the pictures, Val, and maybe Ashley, you can walk us through.
So this is actually really interesting, because with thermography, it's not only doing the heat, it's also focusing on estrogen dominance. So if you look there, all those little vascular lines, that's indicating that there's higher estrogen in this lady's body. And what that indicates is that you are at a higher risk for developing breast cancer if you have higher estrogen dominance. So there's a couple things that you can see on the thermography determining your risk. So if we see this, you can see, okay, what's going on? Are you drinking out of plastic? You know, what's going on with your hormone imbalance? You know, and really focus on that for prevention so that you don't develop breast cancer in the future.
Also, your environment has a big play in this, right? Because
100%.
of all the cancer-causing materials in buildings, and remember when they had the Chinese drywall and everything else, all of that stuff comes to play. And I'm going to ask you the same question I asked you when I first met you. Why isn't this being done permanently before you get to the exam? Because this helps a doctor, yes?
Oh, 100%, yes. And it's FDA approved since 1982 as an adjunct screening. But honestly, it's sad, but there's no money for anybody to be made in this. It's very, you know, it's very cost effective to get it done, and it is a preventative screening. So it's, you know, that's the only thing I can say. I'm hoping that now more and more people are learning about it. So one day insurance hopefully will cover it. But for now, it's just a preventative screening.
Yeah,
and
we don't want to save lives. There's no money
well,
saving
yeah,
lives.
I mean,
yeah, let's see another one.
Unbelievable.
But there's this fear of, oh my gosh, I got to do it, and what if they find something, and then what do you do? And then it's
Well,
this
isn't it better
cascade.
to at least find out that you got a problem than to wait and then you can't do anything about it?
Right. So we want to focus on prevention. So if you come and you see that you're at high risk, hopefully you're not, but if you are at high risk, you can do something about it. And then when you come back for your next annual thermography, you can see, okay, did the changes I make for my lifestyle, hopefully you are making changes, did they work? And some people don't make changes and they don't go to the doctor and they come back for their scan and they haven't made changes and it does develop. I've seen it, they do end up getting something. So we want to monitor it so that it goes the other way. That's why I want to really spread this to younger people as well.
And on this scan, this is the same person?
No, this is different.
Okay.
So this one, as you can see in the first image, you can see that there's less red, obviously. And then by the time she came back, unfortunately, it grew. So obviously we don't want to focus on fear because I really hate focusing on fear. I really want to focus on empowerment and prevention, but I feel like it's important to show these to show that like this can happen in reality. So it's important to, when you get your scan, I always say, if you're going to get the scan, do the lifestyle changes. Because you're not going to do anything and I don't know, not that there's no point in getting it done, but you really want to do something about it.
Well, on the July scan, where is there even red? It looks
so there's a
green and
little,
blue.
I can't.
Just a little bit.
There's
at
a
the
little
bottom.
bit of red, but really, right here you can't tell because I only put the picture. But when the doctor takes the scale, he actually gives you like a reading with numbers, and based on the different numbers and the TH rating, that's what he bases it on. Then you can actually see the vascularity and the wording helps more, but these are just the pictures, so you can't really tell.
You can see the red up in her lymph nodes, under her
Yeah.
arms. You can
So
see
a lot
it.
of time we are red under our armpits just because it's hotter there and under the breast, but if it's on the actual breast, then there's actually something serious
But
going
that's
on.
a big field you got going on there. On the
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that was
That's not a little
that
field,
was
it's big.
pretty serious. But this is just different pictures to show that different areas of the breast can be shown. You can see actual lymph nodes on the breast. You can see the actual areola or nipple. So it can show different areas. But what we're really looking for is not just the vascularity and the heat, but also the estrogen dominance. So based on those three factors, that's where you get your reading from.
And for men as well. This is not
Oh,
just
for sure.
for women. And I think part of breast cancer prevention and awareness is it goes untalked about that men as well.
Yeah, so
you
1
talk
in
about
8 women
hormones and
develop
foods,
breast
right?
cancer. Oh yeah, now more. So it used to be 1 in 1,000 men got breast cancer. Now it's 1 in 833. So it's actually getting worse. And same with women. The women, it used to be 1 in 8, and now I just read that as 1 in 7. So instead of it getting better, of course we want to find a cure and early detection, but we really have to teach people about prevention and diet and lifestyle.
But this is my point. You have a tool that can help you, and because there's no money in it, they don't use it. I remember we had this conversation when I first met you.
Yeah.
This is, again, we don't learn our lesson. Okay, so now you got a virus. Can you imagine, let's just hypothetically say that this machine can find out whether or not you're susceptible to the virus. Then all of a sudden it becomes important? Really? Come on now. Let's not be stupid about this. This is a machine that works, and I know that this machine is being worked with diabetes in the opposite direction, where there is no blood flow.
Right, it can show that as well. And even when you do a full body, it can show the neuropathy in the toes.
That's right.
Things
I've
like
seen
that, yeah.
Because it's a company that maybe you work for them that is actually using this, and I've seen it on social media, and they have contacted me to go do it. So it's a tool, it's a vital tool, it should be used, and it will, depending on what age you're going to be doing this thing, you can keep an eye on this, which is really important.
Do you see it becoming part of a regular routine?
I think more and more
Like a
people are
mammogram?
becoming aware of it. When I first started, they're like, thermography, what's that? And now it's like, I know somebody who does thermography, or I've gotten that, or, so I'm really excited that it's becoming more well known, but I'm just hoping that it becomes more mainstream.
And are patients offered this? Like if they go and get a
Nothing but the
mammogram, are they offered this?
No, I don't. Once in a while, I think if a gynecologist is more on the holistic side, they'll offer it, or they'll say, oh, well, this is another option, because it is an adjunct screening. So that I think confuses people. People are like one or the other, but it's still important to get both, because no screening is 100%. And it's good to get the risk assessment and get the get the mammogram to see what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that are not 100%. I know women that have gone in and they said you got to come back, and they say there's something there, and then you come back and there's nothing there. It happened with my mother for years. Do you know, I find out now that my mother always had that mass, and they watched it for years. They watched it. And it wasn't until this one doctor that says, okay, let's get it out of there. But it was for years.
Well, let me ask you a question. Does your sister get screened regularly, and
you
your
gotta
niece?
call her. She doesn't let me get involved in that. But I would love for my sister to come down here. I would call you, and I say, okay, Mimi, let's get this done, because it runs in my family.
That's why I ask you
And I, you know what? I'm not gonna put my head in the sand no more. We got problems. And I think that we have to address our problems. So I would talk to Mimi, I would talk to Linda, Sarah, and Lisa, which are my immediate family, and Valerie. And they should take advantage of the fact that this technology exists. I'm gonna give you a secret. You know how everybody does streaming now, and they Zoom and all this? We've been doing this for 12 years. And we said this is the way of the future. Nobody paid attention to me 12 years ago. Nobody. And look at it now. Now it's the way we do business.
Yeah.
Right? So wise up. This technology, I'm telling you, in 5 years, is going to be the only way to do it. You watch.
Do you have an office? Do you go to people's homes? How does it work?
I have an office. I go to various offices before the baby, but now I just have one office in Boca on Federal, right near Yamato. And yeah, it's basically just based on scheduling. So they just contact me through either my website or through the phone number, and we schedule them.
How long does it take?
About 20 to 30 minutes. You have to acclimate in a cool room for 10 minutes.
I remember you were saying that, so I was thinking studio. Where are we going to do this? But you have an office, okay.
Yeah, so you acclimate in the room for 10 minutes, and then after you acclimate, we take the pictures, and it's all done. It's really easy. A lot of people come in and are like, where's the machine? Do I go to machine? No, you just take a picture. It's really simple, and then it gets taken, and then
There's
it gets...
no squishing and
no
smushing
squishing.
and pulling and arm here and breathe and you have no idea.
You'd be surprised.
None of that. Non-invasive.
I know she
Yeah,
did.
it's like a little camera, almost like if I was a photographer.
And how much does it cost?
It's $249 for a breast scan, and then $499 for a full body. And that includes
no
the
insurance,
images
you
and
just-
yeah. And you get a full report after, and then I go over the recommendations with you. And depending on what the scan is, I either can help you with your nutrition and lifestyle, or I send you to somewhere that can help you.
It's interesting because now you can self-prescribe a mammogram. At least I know in Boca Raton, you can go in and say, I need my routine screening, and it's covered by insurance. However, what's not covered by insurance, at least mine, is the doctor to read it, the radiology bill, the ultrasound because they need to just make sure that we did everything on the ultrasound, on the mammogram. So yes, the mammogram, by all intents and purposes, for me was covered. But at the end of the day, I had a $349 bill to cover all of the other things that weren't covered for the mammogram. So if you say $249, but my mammogram's covered, check the fine print on that, and also the radiation, and it's just another level of screening of preventative, especially if you're young, right? And you're looking at these things where a mammogram is not indicated before 40 years old, I guess, unless there's family.
Yeah, unless there's family history,
Genetics
and
history
really
of it.
only 5% of breast cancers are actually in genetic anyway. So basically, just because your sister had it or your mom had it, people are like, oh, I'm going to get it because of that. But now with epigenetics, if we take care of ourselves, it doesn't mean you're going to get it. So I always like to tell people that because they're so in fear about that. And I really want people to come in and getting this test to feel empowered and to take care of themselves versus coming in like because they're fearful. You know, it's a different energy. So
I think a lot of people are fearful of just going in. Or how many people don't even want to go to the doctor? How many people don't want to go for the mammogram because you're afraid of what they might find? We talk about this all the time.
I ain't going to the doctor.
And you hate going to the doctor in general.
I think it'd take me screaming.
But yet you're very happy to tell all the women in your life to go get a screening.
Yeah. Because, but wait a minute. Hold on. Don't be a wise guy. I'm doing the pre-doctor. She does it for the pre-doctor. And you have a little, you go out there and all of a sudden things are okay. You get an idea.
But I'm thinking for males as well, full body scans picks things up that would not normally maybe be picked up.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's good for men. I've done A lot less men, but I have done men and many, many women for full bodies, and all the way from the head to the bottom of the feet. So you could, and it includes the breasts.
Do you go through like a tube, or is it a camera?
No, just the camera. I take pictures of, I say stand this way, stand like this, turn around, and we take a bunch of pictures, and then after the picture's done, I just send it off to the doctor, and your report's back within a week, and then we're going over it together.
Wow.
It's funny
pretty
because
easy.
when I went to my cardiologist, she put me through a whole array of tests. And they squeezed my legs for arterial, something with the arteries or something, all this stuff. And it was funny because I was sitting there minding my own business thinking about, I remember if they take a scan, maybe she won't have to look as hard. Maybe let's look at certain areas.
You know, that's a perfect example, and I know we've had a guest on the line, is they did all these tests on you and they didn't like something they saw.
They made me go back.
But then you went and you did a major lifestyle change for 3 months.
I lost weight and I went in there and they put me on a nuclear threat mill. A nuclear. I had tubes coming out of me and I'm running.
But after those lifestyle changes, what happened?
Well, and then I said to her, I lost 38 pounds, yes.
Wow.
But you know something? She put me through the ringer.
But they said your test had come back a whole lot better.
She found a blip. My heartbeat went in a blip. And she made me go through an array of tests. There were thousands in that. Thank God the insurance company covered, because I'm going to tell you, I almost fainted when I saw the bill. And I said, are you guys paying this? Yes, because it's preventive.
And it's not quite there yet because I guess it's considered holistic and not the norm, but eventually people are going to realize that what we're doing to our bodies with so much radiation and medications and injections, it's not always so good
it's really
for us.
silly because if you look at it as preventive, insurance should pay it, right? They find a problem, it could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars to fix it. On the good side, right? And
Well,
this
they
is
make more money from people having cancer. I mean, it's sad, but
Well,
it's
you
just the
work with
truth.
Kids also?
Well, no, that's a different capacity. I have done kids before. I don't recommend it because it's not really necessary. But for example, like if I've had some people have like a hot spot or a mole that they want to look at just to make sure it's not cancerous, those kinds of things. But you don't really need to come in if you're a kid. But I say once you're the age of 18 or up, I got my first scan at 24 and now I do it once a year and it's great to I could see my changes. Like it's really cool. Yeah.
Amazing. How do people get in touch with you?
You can either call me at 561-703-2022 or go to my website, www.yourlimitlesshealth.com.
Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us. Let's go to commercial break. When we come back, we've got Biz Buttons. I hope they're still on our VMix. We're talking toys.
Talking toys.
So it kind of all comes together in
Talking
my
toys.
convoluted mind. But
You polluted my yes.
kids, toys, cancer, prevention.
Well, we
it all
gotta
goes
end
together.
it on a happy note, because
Always.
you know what I'm saying?
Prevention. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
DearAbby.com. Dear Abby is a life coaching company that was founded by Abby Awotasu. At Dear Abby, we believe in empowering single women to unapologetically own their identities and grow in self-love. We know that in order for you to find true, meaningful, lasting love, you must first love and fully embrace yourself, flaws and all. Contact us today at askdearabby.com for your personalized coaching session that will get you on the path to ultimately finding your soulmate. And follow Dear Abby on social media at askdearabby on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Mark Dane's paintings are custom designed specifically for your space. Each design will not only illuminate your space, but will also function as a truly unique light painting. Each piece is handcrafted using various dichroic glass shapes mounted at precise angles on a metal or wood panel. A specific integrated light source strikes the glass shapes to produce a combination of highly saturated colors. The light paintings can be customized to any shape, practically any size, and in any color combination. They can be configured to produce in excess of 5,000 lumens and may be placed on a table, a pedestal, in a niche, or hang on the wall. Come to the gallery at the theater and talk to Mark about placing a piece of his art in your home.
Pizza District is the official pizzeria of the Brooklyn Cafe Show. They have amazing deals, great food, and an even better customer connection. Their owner, Nico, runs the friendliest and cleanest pizzeria for miles around. With their pizza made with whole wheat, gluten-free, cauliflower crust, and traditional New York style, you can't go wrong. Plus all the extras like salad and chicken wings. They are a family-run business with a great atmosphere. Call today to order your pizza and tell them the Brooklyn Cafe sent you at 561-961-4163. That's 561-961-4163 for Pizza District, the official pizzeria of the Brooklyn Cafe Show.
At Carmen Care Advanced Laser Therapy, our professional team specializes in finding the best alternative laser therapy treatments for your painful conditions. Do you suffer with chronic pain, a post-traumatic injury, or simply looking for the benefits of cell rejuvenation to the skin? Schedule a consultation today to understand how photobiomodulation can help reduce your symptoms, reduce or even eliminate pain. Give us a call today, 561-405-9577. We focus on treating you who has a disease, not a disease that defines who you are. Contact Carmen Care Laser Therapy today, 561-405-9577 or CarmenCareLaser.com. Let's all welcome a new sponsor to the show. It's AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet TV radio production company, discover AMP2 TV, a full-service production company that can provide all streaming videos in studio or remotely. They offer web page development, and they use all the latest platforms to help make all your business selling points more powerful. They can do remotes or live radio streaming as well as tape productions for social media platforms and television. AMP2 TV can handle all of your television needs, including closed caption for a perfect on-air telecast. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages or visit one of their many studios to get your creative juices flowing. Come and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies, including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's A-M-P, the number 2.tv, or call them at 866-224-5422. Feel free to call for a quote or just a consult of how to put your business on a social media platform or radio platform, or just doing a show that is covered by all platforms. Call 866-224-5422 and make an appointment. That's 866-224-5422.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
We're back. Vinny's back from the radio station, so I was finding out what's going on.
Chins is on the board.
Do you know? Oh, Slick, we're going to be doing some cross-promotional stuff on Slick Speaks and some of the other ladies' shows. I want to see how the younger demographic works with some of the compounds we had today.
Okay, yes, Ashley, please leave us some cards. Yeah, thank you, I did. Thank you so much.
I have an idea for Ashley. I went to the bathroom and it came raining on me.
Thanks, Ashley.
It might be good stuff. And also we guys got permission to use the commercial from
Special Spaces.
Special Spaces, so we're going to be playing that on different demographics as well.
Steve Gubb was texting in that piece that brought him to tears.
I know, and it isn't about the sadness of bringing people to tears, but it's about the information, getting it out there. So
and I have to
YouTube
tell you,
can
she
help.
was telling me of the 26, I'm going to rephrase, the 26 bedrooms that they have redone, 25 of these kids are still alive, which is pretty spectacular odds, I said.
We always talk about how you can heal when you feel good about yourself.
Because it's interesting. She said one didn't make it, and I said, but 25 did.
It's a great percentage.
And that's a percentage you take all day long. Not if that's one, it happens to be your child, I understand, but of percentage-wise, 25 kids to come through this is pretty spectacular.
What are you eating? Oreos? Really? Where'd you get them?
In the back. We still have a few left.
All right, so let's have some fun.
Let's have some fun with some toys, I think. So we have Biz Buzz on the line, Valerie?
Is Biz Buzz on the line?
Yes, all right. Chenzo, you came back just in time for some toys.
Biz Buzz. Chenzo, we got a show we want to announce. Now we're going to do a Biz Buzz is on the air. A brand new segmente.
And Biz Buzz comes to us as a recommendation from Flynn's Arcade. They had given Val a few names, and Biz Buzz was one of the businesses. And I think they're located in Plantation.
Which we'll find out in a
So let's
second.
find out where they are. Are they on the line, you guys? You know it. Wow.
Wow, look at all those games.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
We're good. Tell us your name.
Name is Dominic Massey. I'm the owner
Dominic,
of
nice
Bits
to
and
meet
Buttons.
you. That looks unbelievable behind you. Where are you located?
I'm actually in Plantation, right off of Broward Boulevard, not too far from the Broward Mall.
All right, so I grew up there. My parents still live there. So refine it a little bit more for me.
All right, the old Plantation Plaza, that's actually right across the street from the fire department where the old Winn-Dixie used to be, right off at East Acre.
I know
right next to
exactly
the
where you are.
Turnpike.
So my dad's office, I'm sorry, I'm going back to 201 Northwest 70th was his first office, which is right there. Long wood building that's probably right behind you
Yes.
or to the side of you. That was my dad's first pediatric office when we were growing up.
It's interesting. We have a gentleman that was in here.
It's like from here
working.
to Israel, so that's how close it is.
Really?
Yep.
So you know the area.
I know the area very well, yes.
So we have a new segment, new show that we're going to be opening. We're going to start taping on Thursday. A gentleman that you know well, right?
I think so.
Kenny B. Kenny B, that you know well. And it's called?
Collectibles Cafe.
Collectibles. He corrected me twice. Collectibles with an S for savings. And he says that he knows of your organization and the things that you do. So it just was fitting that you came on and he was here today because you're going to be doing some work as well. I wanted to ask you, the entertainment business that you are offering during the pandemic, has it gotten better? Stayed the same?
I think they're a toy store, right?
Yes, toys, action figures, Funko Pops, all types of things. Strictly toys, nothing more, nothing less.
And are people buying toys?
Oh, absolutely. And it's funny because a lot of people don't understand the industry. A lot of people, have that misconception that toys are only for kids, when in reality, it's the parents that tend to spend the most money on an action figure. They'll come in here and they'll buy an action figure for their son or their daughter for $5, $6, and they turn around and buy an action figure that they had as a kid for $50 or $60. So it's not always the kids that we're buying toys for.
Listen, I got to ask you, do you have Talking Football in there?
A Talking Football?
It's called Talking Football, the Game Boy.
No, I don't have that right now.
gotta
But with
find
vintage stuff, you never know what's going to walk in the door.
See,
Are these new collectibles? Or are they old or?
Well, what defines us versus a lot of other people, people always have this misconception that, you go to a comic book shop and they label themselves as, comics and toys. When Toys R Us was around and KB was around, it was a lot of retail, a lot of new and what's up and coming. One thing that we base our business around is the fact that we're not just selling new toys. We sell both vintage and new. So we're always getting in the latest stuff. We're always getting in the stuff that were from yesteryear. Whether it's G.I. Joes or whether it's He-Man or vintage Star Wars from the 70s. We'll have vintage Star Wars from the 70s, and we just received some Star Wars that just came out last week. So it's a good mix of both vintage and modern.
I love that.
And how long have you been there in that location?
We've been in this location now. Actually, this week will be our 1-year anniversary, October 24th. I'm sorry.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And it's a great location. I mean, you're right in the heart of Plantation, and there used to be a big Toys R Us right up the street, and it's not there anymore.
Oh. Absolutely.
I know, exactly.
Well, it's kind of interesting. You've replaced that market that Toys R Us has left behind. But what I like about it is, I used to go to Toys R Us because I used to like to play with the toys. I mean, I'm a big kid at heart. So when you have some vintage stuff, like I wanted Talking Football, these are things we were talking in here about, things that we never got, that my cousins got, my brother got, some of the games and stuff like that. And I've always wanted to go back and get some of this stuff. How do people know what you have in the store if they don't travel? Is it on a website as well, or do you got to go to the store?
We do a lot of social media. We're pretty active on Instagram and Facebook. Actually, our Instagram is linked to our Facebook. So whenever we do get new inventory in, we're always posting it online. A lot of our vintage stuff doesn't get cataloged on our website. Most of the time, it's the retail stuff. But we're always active on social media. We actually do a live stream every Saturday night, and we actually go through the store. It's something we started doing early this year. And it's been pretty successful, but I mean, we, for the most part, anytime something new comes in, it gets, pictures get taken, gets posted online, and I mean, depending on the demand of it, I mean, it sells pretty quick.
How'd you come up with the name Bits and Buttons?
Oh man, it's a funny story. I've actually been doing this for many years. I mean, I tell people all the time, my oldest eBay account is over 20 years old. The name Bits and Buttons came about, I was actually, at the time, I was selling video games. I was doing a lot of retro gaming, Super Nintendo, regular Nintendo, Sega, things like that about 5 or 6 years ago. And it just popped up in my head. I'm a very spontaneous person. Bits actually comes from video games. So when you think of 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit, those are the graphics of the video game. And then the buttons are just from the controller. So a lot of people don't understand the name and kind of like, what's up with that name? It's kind of weird. It's just, that's how it came about. It was just a spontaneous thing at the time.
I actually just checked it to make sure they spelled it right. And I'm looking on social media. You have a tremendous amount of pieces there.
Yes. Like I said, we're always posting new stuff.
It's funny.
We have a very large store.
My son, the first company he owned was called 8-Bit. And he's into the same gaming situation. I saw a special, Newest Millionaire. Now, are gamers. People that are playing these games with people all over the world, and they're getting contracts for gaming, they're getting contracts from endorsements, because there's thousands and thousands of people just watching the game. I don't get this. Watching the game and people playing tournament stuff, and they're making, that's the Newest Millionaires not coming out, these kids that are playing these games.
It's unbelievable. Are you down by 95 in Broward?
We're actually right next to the Turnpike. So if you were to take 95, you're going to head west.
Of the Turnpike in Broward. Okay, I know exactly where you are. Unbelievable.
I'm going to tell you, he's been doing it where we can consult with him and sort of work something out. We wanted to get into the children's market. We have a kids television market, and we are trying to put a deal together exactly with what you do and how you do it at a different level with parents, bringing parents in. So I like that you said you can pick up a doll for $5 or $10 or something like that. And that's the price margin that we were looking for, because me as a parent, I got grandkids now. And I didn't know what I was going to get them. I didn't know where to go to get whatever it is I got to go get. And Michelle, my ex-wife, sends little Joey crates of stuff. So now I got to get crates of stuff,
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
It's just the crate.
No. Hey, we ain't having that.
Yeah, but then you got to get a crate for Joey, you got a crate for Rowan, you got to get a crate for Brecken. You're going to have to get another job.
I'm going to have to invade your store and get crates of stuff. And they're slick laughing.
So what are some of the top sellers?
Star Wars. Star Wars is always a top seller. No matter what generation you grew up in. I mean, Star Wars is really what kicked off the collecting game when it comes to action figures. And just through the years, they've always reinvented themselves. So Star Wars is always a big thing. And for me down here, one of my largest demographics is actually wrestling. Wrestling is a big portion of my business and what I do and what I sell. But for the most part, it's always going to be, Star Wars. Right now, the biggest trend is actually Funko Pops. So Funko Pops do fairly well.
What's a Funko Pop?
I mean, it's those little guys with the big heads. Like
I thought you said Cocoa Pops, and I'm thinking cereal. That's how old I am. Ever heard of Funko Pop? You heard of them, Slick? You know Funko Pops. Dan does.
Dan does, because he's a dad.
Who doesn't know Funko Pops?
We should get one for you.
Well, hold on a second. You make Funko Pops, or you
Not
sell?
Funko.
No, I sell them.
You sell them.
Think
so
of it like
whose head are
a
they?
modern day Beanie Baby.
Are these
celebrities?
characters?
Yes, all types of characters from TV shows, movies. I mean, they even make presidents, for crying out loud.
That would make sense.
It's a lot of.
Are they little?
The licensing goes on and on for Funko.
How big are they?
They're about 6 inches. Actually, let me grab one for you. Give me 1 second.
A Funko Pop.
They're like 6 inches tall, and then they have like really big heads.
I kind of like that.
His name sounds so familiar. I don't know why.
All right, so I figured why not take it back a little bit. I actually grabbed a Mr. Rogers Funko Pop.
Oh my gosh.
These are Funko Pops.
Wow, look at that.
Wow,
They're
for
pretty
all
interesting.
ages. Go figure.
Yeah, go figure. No
Go
pun
figure,
intended,
right?
right?
No pun intended, Vinny. That's the name of the show, by the way. Go figure. See that? You like that?
I like that.
Bam.
like
Branding
that.
101.
I like that. And these come in like assortment, and you carry all of them or a whole bunch of them?
Oh, to carry them all, it's impossible. And again, with Funko, what they've done is they've tried to capture generations. Whether it's modern day licensing with modern day video games, modern day TV shows like The Office, to people like Mr. Rogers, or taking it back to Fraggle Rock. So they get licensing for practically every brand, every TV show, from, like I said, from TV to presidents to just, rappers and musicians. So they try to capitalize on the market, when it comes to, who you enjoy, who you look up to, or, it depends on what you collect, and I don't know how to explain it. It's just they found a way to make it work and make money. It's
fantastic. Now I gotta ask you, not only one, you get to pick one. What is your favorite toy in your store? Numero uno, and you can only pick one.
Oh man, if you were to walk in my store, you would notice that I have a large amount of Alfs all around the store.
Alf.
Alf from the TV show.
I remember.
So that would be my pride and joy throughout the store. And it's just weird how it all started, but we have this thing where it's like Hidden Mickey when you go to Disney World. We kind of have little Alf plushes all around the store, and it's one of my things. Everybody has something, and me, it's Alf. I don't know why, but I enjoy my little friend from Melmac.
It's funny. My son Giovanni, that was his favorite doll.
Alf.
The Alf doll.
Is that funny?
It's funny. And he talks about bits and stuff. I guess it's that kind of mindset.
But that's what Vinny and Chenzo and they all say about the game mirrors and toys, and it's coming back.
It is coming back, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, are you married with kids?
Yes, 2 boys actually.
So you must be a
fun
hoot.
dad, huh?
Absolutely, with the mentality of what you would do for a living.
Oh, they enjoy it. I mean, at times they kind of they look at me. Oh, I can never have anything. Well, I mean, it's a whole toy store. Leave it up to them. They'll open everything in the store.
Oh my gosh, where you are is so old plantation.
Yes.
Because I'm a lot older than you. So I remember growing up in old plantation right there. That's where my ballet studio was. I used to get the gummy, remember the rubber, the lips and the Coke bottles that we would drink? There was like an old time candy store over there, and there's like this little clothing store called Mr. B's. But old school plantation. I mean, I was 4 years old when plantation looked like that. Unbelievable. And you just see generations come through it, and the toys, and it just brings back everything we talked about earlier. It's the memories and the memorabilia and coming back to the toys. That's why as adults we buy the more expensive versions of the collectibles. Our kids get the things to play with. I mean, Aaron used to collect Thomas Tank Engine. I must have thousands of dollars, and he's now 26, of Thomas from a collectible store, of Thomas the Tank Engine. What do you do with them?
I've never heard of that.
Thomas the Tank Engine?
Never heard.
Man,
Is that
oh,
a
man.
Florida thing?
A train.
A train
Thomas the
called
Tank.
Thomas, yes.
Dominic, are you from Florida?
I'm originally from New York, from Yonkers, New York.
Okay, Yonkers I know of. You ever heard of this train?
Thomas the Tank?
Unfortunately, I have.
I was going to say you
more
had
like
to
P-
have.
Well, you heard about it
it's a
here in
PBS
Florida.
thing. No, it's a PBS thing. It's like a Reading Rainbow, I guess, something like that.
And all the trains have faces and they talk, and there's the caboose, and there's Thomas's Blue, and there's a whole thing. I'm going to have to bring in the case of trains that I have.
There's a store up north. It's called Wegmans. Like when it hits like 12 p.m., there's a train. I think it has to be Thomas the Train, but they have it on the ceiling and it goes around and around. But there's a rooster that pops out though.
I must have seen this because I want a train in here that
Wegmans
goes round and round. I've asked for that. Dominic, I want a train in the studio that goes around the studio.
Like
I've been
FAO
asking
Schwartz.
for this. I can bring in people to anchor, and if I put a big one in here, it'll be a caboose. It'll go all over the place.
Amazing. I love all of the great toys that you have.
Thomas, you got trained?
Appreciate it.
His name's Dominic.
Unfortunately,
I mean, Dominic, you got trained? You got me thinking this stupid thing. You got trains there, Dominic?
Unfortunately, I don't. No trains here.
What is it? Everything I want in life that's never there.
It's all collectibles. People can find you on social media.
Yes, absolutely. You can find us on Instagram. It's going to be Bits Buttons, and it's going to be the same thing on Facebook. Bits Buttons. We have Facebook and we have Instagram. So
And people can
always
call you if
active
they're
on
looking
there.
for something in particular.
Oh, absolutely. We get phone calls. We get messages all the time. Actually, just before we went on, I received a phone call, somebody looking for something. Because again, a lot of the vintage guys are always looking for something in particular that they can't find online, or just the quality of it. So it's something that, you know, one of our slogan is not just living in the past, embracing it. You know, as we all know, Toys R Us, being adults, Toys R Us's slogan was always, I don't want to grow up, I want to be a Toys R Us kid. And it's funny because people fail to realize, what Toys R Us failed to realize is that those same people that they were talking to 20 years ago, they actually grew up and they still want to be a kid. And that's where they failed to capture, you know, that demographic. So it's always, people are always looking for something. Whether
You
it's
have
to
Disney
capture that
collectibles
moment.
too?
Oh yes, we have Disney, we have Disney action figures, Disney Pops, we got little Disney trinkets, things like that. So it's whatever walks in the door. My wife actually, she takes part in this as well. This isn't just run by me, it's a family-owned operation from top to bottom. So she does dip into the buying as well, and Disney and things like that is her thing.
Do you do remotes? In other words, if somebody wants to hold some kind of toys thing in a store, do you do those type of deals? I mean, I know right now it's tough, but have you ever done anything like that?
What do you mean?
Well, like there are businesses that I knew up north where a company like yours would come in, they would set up toys in an opening, a grand opening of different stores and different things. And it had the theme of, again, being young at heart. And I knew a guy who did it in New York. He did really, really well. And then he grew on to other things, but he used to bring in themes of toys and games and the train. That's probably why I like the train. I remember they're the ones that set up the train going around their stores and stuff like that. It's like that Schwartz thing.
FAO.
FAO, but they used to do it remotely, which is really spectacular when you have different studios where you're trying to accomplish stuff like that. Maybe we talk to him.
What a great idea.
Dominic, we're going to throw an idea at you. But you got to come and see what we
Sounds
got
good.
cooking here. And maybe we can do something with him. I think it'll be really fun.
It'd be a lot of fun. How old are your boys? Are they little or grown?
10 and 7. So they're
Wow.
right in that age group.
You're right. You got it right there. They must walk into your store, Dad, we want everything.
Yeah, every day. Tony, they would open everything in the store if they could.
I bet.
Oh my gosh. Dominic, thank you so much. A pleasure to meet you. Bits and Buttons in Plantation.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Good luck. Stay safe.
Take care.
So much fun, right?
It is. Isn't it crazy how we just organized the theme of this thing and then Dominic shows up? Valerie, nice job. Hum.
Huh? What?
Hum? What? Ooh, what?
Huh? I
Good
think she
stuff.
sent Dan some stuff. What do you think, Dan?
Let me show my mic on. Looks awesome. I can't wait to start running with this.
And Dan, are we going to, do you have a number where people can reach you? Are you going to set that up, or do you have that set up yet?
I still have my old phone number from Rhode Island, but
You
you
wanna
guys can
use
give me a
that?
call. Yeah, sure. My number is 401-864-3667. I'm up all the time. I got 2 little kids, so anytime is fine.
You want to do some work with us or anything else, you can call Dan and put it through there. I think that we tell Dominic that we want to convert something with him, and what better deal to get stuff done than the toy store? I mean, think about that.
And it's collectibles. It's a little bit different. This is like so right up Hector and Chenzo's alley. It's like, you like toys and collectibles?
I used to, but I don't collect toys like
You
that.
don't play with toys no more?
I don't know.
You've grown up and you're no more playing with toys?
I mean, I can collect them, but I mean, I can get them, but I won't collect them no more. I used to collect them, but I don't collect like that.
Aaron still does.
Dan,
My
do you
son
play with
still
your
collects.
I'm collecting baseball cards again. I used to collect them with my dad. Now I
Yeah,
started
but
buying
the
them
cards
again.
that you're collecting, they're in their
They're in the bat. They still in the little
in
thing.
the little placards.
Yep.
Plastic.
Yeah, but I still buy the old ones from like older ones from like 1989. I try to get older
How
ones
much
than
is a
that.
baseball card from 1989 cost?
It depends. Like I bought maybe like 20 of them. Some of them are worth like 10 cents, but I got one that's cost $24. Like I haven't even opened it up.
Hank Aaron's rookie league baseball cards.
Yeah, I know those rookie
And-
cards go for like.
And I got rid of it when I was when I was 12, but I had it since I was 8. And I told my parents I had it in a shoebox. I had some of the oldest cards you ever think of, and they threw them away. So yeah, I mean, I could be a millionaire today.
You might still be. Do your boys collect anything?
No, my dirt in their shoes. I don't collect nothing.
Aaron collects Legos still.
You know, there's a Lego City in New York City.
My son still collects
Yeah, there's
Legos,
one-
and when he
there's one in
gets
Boston too.
when he gets stressed or he gets upset, he goes old school and he puts a Lego piece together. At 26.
I feel bad. Now you're making me feel bad. Gio used to put hours into Legos. So I bought him enough Legos to fill. I took him to Lego City and they had a 5,000 piece Lego with doors and windows. So he used to spend all his time putting it together. And his brothers used to break it up on him. I feel horrible, and I gotta call my son. Horrible. He says, "Hey, I spent all this time, and look what Freddie did." I feel horrible. Now I'm gonna let you in a little secret. I have green G.I. Joe men.
A real G.I. Joe?
The
Those
little
little
ones.
G.I. Joe green men.
Can I tell you what I used to do with those?
No, I don't want to know.
Magnifying glass? Magnifying glass?
She used to burn them and melt them.
Yeah.
No.
So
No,
you're
I was
the army
very
guys.
into feng shui, and I still am. I would, don't laugh at me, put them outside my front door as an adult.
To protect you.
To protect my house.
I know that surprises me.
Because it's all about the symbolism and what it means to you. So they may still be, if you actually dig in my yard, they may actually still be under the dirt.
So you have
Well, I
little
don't
army
want
guys out in
anybody-
your front yard.
I don't want anybody to know this. Linda goes to work and I'm gonna take
You
a shower.
play with your toys?
I put them all in the bathroom, and I have. You see, I didn't laugh at you.
I'm thinking only you. No, I'm laughing because you do that and I've got them in my front yard.
I don't know what's strange.
And
I
have
don't know which
them
one's
hidden.
weirder.
Look at Dan says I do. I still want
He's like, do I want to
work
work with these? And Hector goes, yeah, I get them. They're kind of
I
odd.
still play with those little green men.
And there you have it.
I'm pretty sure you play with toys. You're just not saying no.
Hector,
I'm
do you
not
have a
playing with
favorite
any
collectible?
toys right now. I'm not playing with any toys.
Well, I do collect books. Very small. Well, it's more like I need for the kind of hobby I do. I kind of need those books and/or little figurine things, and they're kind of like army guys, but different. I mean, I think you probably have a better idea about these things. Just these things, I'm guessing.
Dan? Or
You
Slick? Who are you
Dan-
pointing at?
Dan.
Okay.
Dan plays with dolls, right? You play with toys.
Well, I just play with whatever my kids play with, so
I mean,
just to keep them entertained.
I know you paint minis or something.
No, I just collecting baseball cards mostly right now. That's pretty much what I've been doing.
My dad used to have baseball cards.
We used to play a game with the baseball cards.
How do
We
you
used
play?
to take 2 lines and put the baseball cards in position. You had to have the position players. You take a little aluminum foil ball, and you would smack the ball, and it had an outfield. And wherever the ball landed was either a hit, a double, a single, triple, or an out.
I think that's the only way you can play with baseball cards, really.
This is what we used to do as kids. Is
but-
that crazy?
Not really. They're baseball cards. What is you
Well,
going to do?
I
Play
mean,
baseball cards to play
you
baseball?
ever heard of a game like we made it up?
Well, of
It's
course they
like
may.
marbles. You ever play marbles?
Yes,
Marbles?
yes.
You know how to play marbles? The whole
Kinda.
idea to a marble. You know how to play marbles?
I know the idea. I used to play jacks.
Marbles and jacks are 2 different games.
Well, kind of. But you had the bouncing ball, and then you would like just bounce it
Never
and catch
mind.
it and
She
pick a
thinks
jack
football
up.
and basketball is the
No,
same
I know
thing.
marbles, and I had pretty marbles. I had a little brown bag. I might still have it at my parents' house. All the marbles.
Dan,
yeah.
you know how to play marbles?
Yeah, you put all the marbles in the circle, and you
You
try
have
to
to
smack
hit
them
'em
You
out.
got to like smack one.
And it's like that game that they use with the disc.
Curling. What's that?
We should play games. We should have like an old school game day.
We've been asking that for 5 years.
I'm going to go on Amazon and buy some
Cards
old school
Against
games.
Humanity.
Now, Ken says that he has a 3D printer. He's going to try to print us a bobblehead.
Oh, okay.
He says it has to be in layers, so I don't know if I could do it. And that's kind of weird. Maybe we get a clown. We get a clay.
Maybe we'll get a Go Figure, a Freddy bobblehead. What are those things called again?
The Go Pops? Funko Pops.
Funko Pops.
The Funkos? Wait, you want a Funko Pop of you two?
We never heard, yeah.
How do we get that?
I go through the company. I don't really know.
It's a Funko Pop, huh?
Funko Pop.
Funko.
Yes.
I'll give him a call.
Interesting. All right.
What is that?
That's an apple.
That thing is bigger than your head.
Looks like a Honeycrisp.
Is that a Honeycrisp apple? No. A Fuji apple.
Fuji.
Bigger than her whole hand. Great show.
All
a
I
lot
know
of
is
lot of moving pieces.
I don't want her anywhere near my coffee again. She put her hair in my coffee.
A lot of moving pieces. For more information, to get in touch with all of our guests, let us know at the Brooklyn Cafe Show. We had Ashley Agaloff, Special Spaces, Joan Childs, Bits and Buttons. A lot of things going on today.
Bits and Buttons is hilarious. Yes,
Children,
a good cause, yes.
adults, helping cancer, and actually Special Spaces told me they did one of their first fundraisers at Crazy Uncle Mike's.
Really?
But as I said, I wouldn't want to paint it.
What?
Have a great day, everyone.
You're someone that's gonna say,
Huh?
what? Oh, huh.
Have a great day, everyone. Be kind to each other. I will see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Don't be late.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S will bring more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. Well, see you next time.
Sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can thicken every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna save your moons and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless as I fall, the words can't say it all, sweeping me away like an avalanche, like an avalanche. I listen for a sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors, just a ray of light.